Hello, welcome back to my new YouTube video. In today's video, we are going to solve a weekly contest problem. Number this. In this problem, minimum number of chairs in a waiting room. Let's understand this problem. So, we are given a string s, simulate events at each second I, means s of I. Every index is an event. Okay, so if s of I is e, means that particular element on that index is e. A person enters the waiting room and takes one of the chairs in it, means he the if the it is e, a person came and take a chair and sit on it. And if s of I is l, means any element in a string is l, then a person leaves the waiting room, free up that chair, and he free up that chair means he gone from that room. So we have to return the minimum number of chairs needed so that a chair is available for every person who enters the waiting room. So initially given that it is empty, means there are no people in the waiting room, so the number of people are empty, means 0 in the waiting room. So first person, we have to return the minimum number of chairs which are needed to people to sit. For in this example, let's see, a person came at first second, it is e, so the number of seat is now 1 seat is filled, and again entered, 2 seat is are filled, 3 seat are filled, again 4 seat are filled, again it is e and e. So there are only 7 e, means 7 people are sitting on the chair. So there, as we can see, no people had left. So after this second, a person enters the waiting room and no person leave it. So therefore the minimum chair is needed, which is 7. So let's see another example why the output is 2. See, it is e, he sit on that chair, it is l, means that person leaves the room, and again it is e, means another person come and sit on that chair, and it is l, means that person leaves the room, it is e, new person come sit on that chair, again new person come sit on that chair, means there are 2 person who are sitting on the room, and again 1% left. So at particular time there were 2% who were sitting at the same time, so the output is 2. Let's take this example. So why would the initial approach will not work? Like if we see e, for this example, if we see e, just increment the count, if we see e, increment the count, and there are 7 e, so the output is 7. And if we come in this approach, so let's see why this approach will not work. Like if we are doing, like if we see e, increment the count, and if we see l, decrement the count. So we have seen e, so the count was 0, so now count is 1. We have seen l, so the count is again 0. We have seen e, count is now 1. We have seen l, count is now 0, again count is now 1, and count is now 2. Again we see l, so we have to decrement the count, so the count is 1. So why this approach, the our output is 1 but the initial output is 2. So let's see the approach. Like they are given the explanation which I have told you, like first person enter, people in the waiting room, they have considered that, let's see why the output is 2. So let's consider there are 2 chairs, like just imagine there are only 2 chairs in the room. So first person enter, there were 2 chairs, so he sit on first chair. Available chairs are 1. That particular person leaves, so the available chair is now 2. He again enter, so the chairs are available chairs are 1. He leaves, now the available chairs are 2. He again enter, the available chairs are 1. He again enter, so now available chairs are 0, means 2 people are sitting on it. He again leave, now the available chairs are 1. So as we can see, there are 2 seats which are needed their particular time that people are sitting. Let's come up with approach. See, we have to take 2 pointers, C and V. Let's see why. So here C is the count of the chairs and V is the count of the chair on the people have sitten. Let's see what I am saying. If s of I is 0, I mean s of I, that particular element is E, and V is 0, means no one seated on that chair, then only when we will increment the count. Like let's see this example and do the dry run of this code. So this is the given example number 2. So if we see s of I is E and V is 0, so initially the V is 0, number of people seated on the chair, so initially there were no people in the room and count is 0 as well. If we see E, we have seen E and the V is 0, yes, V is 0, so we have to increment that count to 1. We have incremented that count to 1. Okay, and now we have seen L. If we see in L, we have to increment the V pointer, like 1 people get sitting on that chair, so we have incremented the V pointer. Now we have seen E, but the V is 0. So let's check, V is not 0, so we will come on this condition, so we will decrement the V, so we will decrement the V to 0 and it will remain same, like it was 1, so it is 1 as well as it is. So we have successfully seen this case. If it is L, increment the V, so it is L, so increment the V, so now V is 1. Now it is E, so we have to check E and V, is V 0? No, V is not 0, so we have to come in this condition, so we have to decrement the count because V is not 0, so we will decrement this count, so it is now 0. As we can see, that is done. Now we will see E. V is, as we can see, the element is E and V is 0, so we have to increment the count to 2. It will come 2. So this case is also done. And now the character is L, so if it is L, increment the count, so V is 1, so we have to return that C. C is the number of chairs, so as you can see, our output is 2. Our output is 2 by this approach. So let's code this approach and let's see, can we pass all of the test cases or not. So I am just doing what I have seen. We'll set C and V pointer to 0, or we can do like main chairs, chair on people absit, it is 0. So we can convert it into a array, or in Java we can directly do like we have to traverse the string. We can do it like this, or let's convert it into an array. Let's write that condition as it is. If that particular element is E and the over this V is 0, then we have to do min this plus plus. Else if V is not 0, it is only E, then we have to decrement this. Else if C of I is L, then we have to increment it. Right? If it is L, increment it. If it is E, decrement it. And if it is both condition is true, increment the count. And after that we have to return min chairs. Let's try to run the code. Min chairs, min chairs. So our output is 7 for the first input, output is 2, which is correct. For the third case, output should be 3 and our output is 3. So we have successfully solved the problem. So let's submit the code. So we have submitted the code. So solving the problem is necessary, but understanding the problem is the main thing. If you understood the problem, that's good. Otherwise